Hello, welcome to MyStartup TV. I am Major Sunil Shetty. We are starting the first series of TI 50 Hyderabad series. As part of the first series, we have with us Vaibhav Ram, who's the founder of SETV Healthcare. Let's understand what SETV is all about. It's a startup based out of Hyderabad, which is into vertical, AI vertical healthcare startup. Vaibhav, welcome to the show.
Thank you, Major. How are you doing?
I'm good. Thank you very much. So, Vaibhav, let's start by understanding, your journey as an entrepreneur.
So, if you ask me when I started it, I would say from the age of 17, because my father always told that you don't need to graduate to be able to work. You can work anytime you want, but always try to find a purpose in life. And maybe for me, God has done that in an auto reset mode. I was around 16 or 17 years old. At that time, my maternal grandfather had a very serious health issue, due to which we went to a lot of medical facilities, tried to get them checked. And I'm not going to tell the name of the medical facilities, but they're pretty big. They were clueless, not sure what's happening, frustrated, lot of patient inflow, etc. And on that day, I saw what helplessness is. And on that day, I promised my grandfather and I promised my mother that I'll do something that can bring some, tectonic shift in the way how healthcare works. And that's when I got an idea, let's do this. I always wanted to be a business owner, because even previously I wanted to be in the army and in a very good position. So maybe the commanding thing was there in the blood though. And when I got into business, I was thinking what is supposed to be done. Now finding the problem is essential. I spent 5 years. I worked in various organizations, very reputed ones like University of Singapore, Keck Graduate Institute. I worked in some projects from John Hopkins. And I was in a lot of places, stayed in hospitals for months together, spoke to doctors for 5 to 6 years together, understood the technology of AI back in the day of 2018 and 19 when no one knew anything. And I understood how it was, and I got to know what to do, and that's it. I registered the company and I just started the work.
Well, 60 is a very young age to think about entrepreneurship, but then if it is driven by some personal experience, that really makes it easier, or rather it makes it, the passion or the vision becomes, that more compelling, right? Yes. So, were there any challenges when you started off? Because, startup ecosystem, assuming, was already there, right? 2014, we started talking about, startup ecosystem. Before that, startups were there already as on 2010. If you could talk about any challenges you faced during this period.
So, let me tell you, it was basically like a, reality check. The world is not very friendly. Not everyone is going to support you to get things done. And family is the most important thing. These are the things first I understood. And the challenges are no one is going to take you seriously. And you have to accept that fact that when you don't have anything, when you haven't proven anything, it's all going to be a very bad day. In the starting, you're going to have bad days. You're going to wake up with anxiety. You're going to wake up with a lot of health issues here and there, pain in your chest, thinking that is this going to work or not. So if you ask me the biggest challenge, it is not the people around there or the ecosystem. The biggest challenge is you trying to convince yourself that what I am doing is going to work. Because belief system only comes through pain. Belief system doesn't come through anything else. So that was the biggest challenge. And startup ecosystem, it is there from the time when Premji sir started, Narayan Murthy sir started, and then Sachin Bansal came and literally exploded the ecosystem. But I would say an ecosystem can exist without you, but you cannot exist without an ecosystem. So you're supposed to understand, you're supposed to stay calm. No one is going to give you time. No one is going to hold your hand and go. Even your parents might not be able to help you. The only thing that you can do is close your eyes, think about what you want to do, and just keep pushing every single day. 1%. 1% every day. Push. Compounding effect is the craziest thing.
Well, that's really nice, very nicely put out. So, your first investor or the seed money you got for your mom, about 50 lakhs, and then you started off. So, what's your startup into? I know you're using, AI, and it's from diagnosis to treatment, the whole spectrum of it. Could you talk about the startup itself?
So, we are an AI first startup for healthcare, and I know AI is a term that everyone is using nowadays. So, let me put the term AI aside. Currently right now in India, right, the biggest issue that the healthcare is going through is not the doctors or the knowledge, It's the whole ecosystem having a flawed infrastructure. That is manual, repetitive workflows, a lot of paperwork. Patients have to carry bags of reports to go to a doctor, wait for hours to get scans. And I thought, what can I do to bring those days and hours of reporting, analysis, diagnosis, tension, pressure, all of it into minutes and seconds? That's when we built SETV Web Service AI. So SETV Web Service AI, in short, if you ask me, it's like a doctor's digital twin, an assistant. It can help assist in radiology, right from understanding the scans, picking the images, giving the diagnosis, that is, they're telling the treatment plans, to helping a doctor design surgeries, understand what is needed, pick up intricacies from, a lot of, surrounded, gathered data that is a lot in an asynchronous format and bring it to a way that you need. So you're in defense, you know about Palantir, right?
Yeah. Right.
Yeah. So we are literally like the Palantir of healthcare. We help medical professionals make guided decisions by looking at millions of data points and bringing out insightful outputs so that they will be able to make things be completed in seconds.
Now, healthcare is a challenging space, right? Because anything that you introduce requires a lot of trials, tests, acceptability, and especially from the healthcare workers, be it doctors, hospitals itself. So how did you go about, convincing them that this is what they need to use, and what kind of impact have you created, be it through a case study, if you could talk about?
So maybe I'll start from how the ecosystem works. Okay, in healthcare, it all runs on trust. Okay, blind trust. You're supposed to make them believe you, not convince. Because even if you convince them and your product fails on day one, they're going to run behind you. But if you make them feel that, we're building it for you and not use the jargons that people use that AI is going to take away jobs, then they're ready to listen. And there is a mentor of mine, I'm not going to put the name out, but he's a very, very, very close to me. He told me one thing one day. He was like, Vaibhav, the ecosystem is simple. You bring a product out there, put a hand on the doctor's shoulder and tell him this is going to work, and tell him that we will be with you. Even if a product doesn't work for the first 2 months, the third month, even if a result comes out, you're going to show what impact is. And when you're in an ecosystem, that's basically a good ecosystem, a noble ecosystem. You're supposed to first focus on impact. You're supposed to first focus on service. Then you think about startup growth, revenues, metrics, KPIs, and all of that. So when I started, I was pretty lost. I didn't understand anything. Then I took the help from my father, who patiently worked with me for 4 to 5 months to understand how things goes. And then we started off with free pilots. We started off doing a lot of case studies. Like, there is a very interesting case study. We went to this place called Raulpalam in Andhra Pradesh. It's a very backward town. And my father asked why. I told him one simple thing. I told, if my AI can work here, it can work everywhere. So we put up a medical camp just under a tent with a single doctor. We were able to screen more than 435 patients in a span of 13 hours with more than 94% accuracy. So what am I talking? Per patient 2.5 minutes or 3 minutes? That's when I understood that we are going to explode. So that was one of the most interesting case study that I had. And another case study that I had was, there was this patient that we were dealing with. She has a immunosuppressive disease. 6 months, no diagnosis was helping. We used our system. I just wanted to try. I was very curious. We just used our system. We tried to bring things together the way the system wants. And it started to pull out reasonable insights and some data points that we missed. We showed it to the doctor and we told, see, the AI is telling, get these tests done. She got the test done. The results came out. The AI predicted the immunosuppressive disease and the doctor too. It took them 6 months to be able to do that, and the AI did it in 15 minutes. So that's crazy, something that even I didn't expect happened there. So that's how the ecosystem is.
So how do doctors take this? Because here literally the doctor, we expect the doctor to, obviously the doctor's judgment is based on certain tests, and then use that, and then comes to a concurrence that's saying, yes, this is the issue. How do the doctors feel when they see AI doing their job? Or at least, in some ways, obviously you can't replace the doctor with the AI, but definitely, there is this human element that comes in where, how do doctors view this?
So I'll do a narrative here. Maybe this will be very interesting to know. So let's say you're a doctor and I'm an entrepreneur. I come to you. I'll be like, hi doctor, I'm Vaibhav. This is my company SETV. I have a product. and this product works in such a way that majority of your work is gone, and after some years, you can even see that it will be able to take over the task that you're doing, and you can reduce the number of doctors you have and all. How are you going to react? You will be like, what is this? Is this guy literally telling a guy with MBBS, PG, DOM, multiple degrees going to replace me? Now I'll change the narrative. I'll be like, hi doctor, my name is Vaibhav. This is my company SETV. This is our product. And if I tell you this is the best assistant that you can get, a case that you take 1 hour can be done in 10 minutes, and you can take more number of cases, have more impact, spend more time with each patient, and get the clinical accuracies the way you want. And you don't need to do any paperwork or any other thing that you don't like, and just focus on the profession you love. Now, how are you going to take it?
So how do the doctors respond to after they see your tool performing and assisting them in overcoming or reducing their work? How do they respond to that?
So the first expression is they laugh. They'll be like, what's happening over here? And then the second expression is they get a bit panicked. They'll be like, the day is very soon that we'll get replaced. Then it takes some amount of time for me to convince them. It's like, no, this is not how it's going to happen. But then what I see, what they can see is they start to imagine more things that they can do with the product that we have got in a better way. So that's the most positive thing that I can speak. And more positivity, I don't think they talk that much positively out there. But this is what they think. They start imagining what all they can do. They come to me. They'll be like, once they settle down, they'll be like, hey, Vaibhav, this is something like this. Can it show this? Can you try making it show this? Can you try making this happen like this? Can you try making this happen like this? So in healthcare, there is a saying, you want to walk alone, people are going to crush you or you're not going to go ahead. But if you walk along with the ecosystem and you walk with the doctors for the doctors, they're going to help you the most and they're going to run the fastest.
So did it happen to you that you didn't think of a solution that would come out of AI, and the doctors helped you identify that okay, this can be used, your tool could be used to do this as well?
Yes. In fact, that happens to me every single day. Today also I was having a conversation with a very big doctor, and she told me certain use case, and I was just blown away. I was like, what? I never thought about this. This is something that I don't pick. And usually I have a good habit, stubborn habit, or a bad habit. Once I get decided that this is only what I'm going to cover, I get hyper focused into it. I don't distract, I don't deviate, I don't go here and there. And even if I go, I have got mentors and parents who are going to kick me and bring me back to place. So we do get a lot of ideas. Healthcare is a space where you want to solve every single human's crisis. But some of them we implement, some of them we don't. Majority of them we don't. And that's the only answer I can give. But I can't tell what is there because that's compliant.
For the common man, and also for doctors who might might be viewing this program, could you just take us through how does this work? I mean, is it a software that the doctor has to use? How does the data capture happens? Does he start using after the diagnosis has been done, tests have been done? Could you take us through that?
So I won't get into much intricacies. Maybe to the commercial level I will go. So when this particular system is integrated, it's more like a vertical stack AI. Okay, so it's like API infrastructure in the points where it's needed. They integrate it into the hospital HMIS. So what happens is when a scan starts, the AI listens to it, takes the scan, understands all the things. It's during the diagnosis. Diagnosis, whatever is there, creates a report and gives it to a doctor. These are the differential diagnoses. These are the things.
A patient goes, gets a scan done. Simultaneously, your tool is working to read it, and the doctor gets the feed of it as to what's the problem.
Yes.
Okay.
Exactly. All of it happens at the same time.
Every test he does, it could be an MRI, it could be some blood test, all of that.
Yes.
And because doctor has just written the, test that needs to be done, the patient goes away and he goes through the various tests in a hospital. By the time he comes back for a review, the test is ready.
Yeah, he doesn't need to come back to the review. By the time he crosses the door itself, you have the report in the hand. And now one very important factor in our thing is a doctor should attest it. He needs to attest it telling that yes, this is a valid clinical inference and this can be used for clinical introspections. And then it goes to the patient and the other doctors what all are needed. Yes, that's how it works.
This is perfect for a corporate setup. How would you use it for in a place where there's small clinics in tier 2, tier 3 cities, and my interest being government hospital setups because they are not as equipped as a private hospital. How would you use that there?
Before I start that, I'll just tell this. The government set up a very important point. So right now we are in fact working with the government of Telangana for bringing our pulmonology related solution across the state. And I won't go much deeper into that, but the question that you have asked for different tiers, how it works. So we have put multiple modules of the software. Either it takes real time, or he can just take a photo from his phone and he can upload the scan or the diagnostic report that is there, or he can download it into his system and upload it into system how it is there, or they can take a USB and attach it and connect the machine with the laptop directly and be able to get the analysis that is there.
In a government setup where probably all the departments are not integrated, their efficiency remains the same, but the time taken to compile all the reports and the doctor to see would be a little different to the corporate where everything is connected.
Yeah, even the efficiency is going to increase, because the point is, irrespective of what department the scan is happening, everything gets stored into a universal healthcare interface. So irrespective of the department, the diagnosis can go through the departments and give the outputs too. So yes.
So where are you currently commercially? Are there how many hospitals are you in use, and are you generating revenue? At what stage are you?
Yeah, we are generating revenue, and we are going good so far, God's grace. And with respect to how many hospitals we have got decent number of hospitals to be able to get the impact created. I won't be putting out the numbers out there. No. We are already there. We are already running fast, active, and good. And we are there very actively in the healthcare ecosystem.
I know you raised your first round of fund through your mother, who invested about 50 lakhs, as you said. Now you're trying to raise the next round. Do you want to talk about that for the benefit of other investors who might be?
Yeah. So actually, it's not. My mother's is not a round. It's like just giving the money for me to start. And that was about some amount of money. And then my second round was a very early stage round, which investors like V Founder Circle and EvolveX have got into, where they had put about good amount of money to be able to push the company about a year back. And then now we are going for a proper scale round, where we are going to take the amount, a lump sum amount for a good valuation from investors, mainly to focus on there are some issues with the healthcare ecosystems, for example, sales cycle, buying and acquisition time, and all of that. As in when you go above the tiers, right, it starts extending in 2x ways. Like in tier 2, if it takes 1 month, in tier 3, if it takes 2 weeks, in tier 1, it takes 6 months. And in the marquee hospitals like Apollo, Fortis, and all of that, it yearly takes you like 12 to 13 months. So we are looking, to bring in very, very good people who can help us cut down all those costs. And mainly this fund is focused on sales as well as product enhancements and compliance, what is needed.
And you're a winner of TIE 50 Hyderabad award. How did that come about, and how do you see that?
So how did that come about? So there's this ecosystem called Math by Department of Science and Technology. It's in the 7th floor of T-Hub. A brilliant place to explore your entrepreneurial stunts, whatever you want to do, with an amazing team and a great ecosystem. So we are basically in T-Hub and Math in both the places. So great ecosystems. So we got an advantage from the ecosystem, where they told, hey Vaibhav, TIE 50 is there, apply and try it out. Because a lot of people even don't know something like this works out. So I thought, what is there? Let's give it a shot. And then we got shortlisted. We went to, to do 2 rounds, something like that. And then we finished all of that. And then the announcement came for TIE 50 that, we got selected in the Hyderabad Entrepreneurial Summit, along with the president, vice president, and the global head of TIE Global. So that was great. Yeah, it was good. This is how it went. It's the ecosystem that pushed me.
So you talked about how ecosystem can survive without the entrepreneur. Entrepreneur cannot survive without the ecosystem. So who all played a key role from the ecosystem as organizations? I'm talking about maybe some individuals also in your entrepreneurial journey.
So it actually started off with this. It was when I was 19 years old. I wanted to learn what entrepreneurship is, and we all are a employee family. Like all of us, my dad, all of them are merit people, but they all are in jobs. No one in business. And I was the first guy going to go across that path, so I didn't know what to do. So I went to this place called Vadhwani Foundation. You might have heard of it. Very famous. I have learned my basics of entrepreneurship from there. And then internet is the most free resource available. So I went and studied the Y Combinator online school. I learned all the lectures from them, why you need a startup and all. Then when it started maturing a bit, there's this ecosystem math, which I told you, 7th floor of T-Hub, along with T-Hub. Both of them, opened their hands and got me for a hug. And we got into a good relation there and it went great. And contrary, then my investors had come, my first set of investors, apart from my mother. And they also gave me an exploding amount of, ecosystem that's there. We found a circle in EvolveX where I can literally call them any point of the day and tell me to connect with any guy. They will connect it to me in the next minute and he'll be there in the phone call at my place. So that's how it is there. And in fact, I even suggest all the entrepreneurs out there, don't seek funding for money, seek funding for support and as well as a strategic compliance to be able to push the startup front. They'll be like, Arey yaar, I have got 1 crore of funding, my company value is 15 crores, I've become a millionaire. No one cares. The product doesn't go, that guy who gave you 1 crore itself is going to drag you out and going to, dump you out there. So you have to pick investors like that and I was very lucky. In fact, the current round who is going to come also are brilliant and the previous round who are there also are brilliant. So that's how the ecosystem welcomed me. Very pleasing, very pleasing.
Well, nice to hear about that. Vaibhav, before I let you go, MyStartup TV, we are a media house for entrepreneurs like you. We carry their journey, their stories, challenges. What do you think about the kind of work we are doing?
No, that's actually great because the only thing that is very needed right now is to hype down entrepreneurship a bit. People are supposed to understand what intricacies are there. And when you invite people like me and other more seasoned entrepreneurs than me, at that time, the audience will realize what the truth is. They think, Arey, chalo, OpenAI has raised $500 billion. I will also create a startup. I will become a billionaire within a year or something and things will go. And you guys are actually breaking the myth there. You'll be like, this is difficult. It takes time. It's just that people have got a lot of money to splurge around with, but you're supposed to be conservative and good. So that's why that's very great of you to be doing this work.
Thank you, Vaibhav. Thank you for being on our show, and we hope to see you again on other following shows.
Definitely. Thank you.
All the very best.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
To stay informed about the startup ecosystem, subscribe to My Startup TV.